Alright, so yesterday I admitted to you that I was really nervous to start recording again, and it's still true. I can tell you with all honesty that I still feel slightly uncomfortable standing here in front of the camera once again after all these years off. However, I'm back on the horse and it feels really good. Now, yesterday we talked about just my basic thoughts. It was essentially an exercise for me to just get going again and stop delaying the inevitable. Now, today I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on this topic. Got a question from my friend Rodrigo, which I'm going to explain to you in a moment. And let's talk about what I've learned, something I think we can all benefit from as far as what to do in those moments when we are feeling hesitant to start doing something for the first time or starting to do something again that we've neglected to do in the recent past. All right, let's move on to the next location now. All right, so welcome to the new location. It's just around sunset time. As you notice, I was quite sweaty as promised in the last video. That's how I get after the gym. So I've come up with 4 tips today to help you get out of that downswing, out of that slump, out of that period of non-momentum when you're at a standstill, where you don't have the motivation to do the thing that you want to do, that you know that you need to do, but that you can't get yourself to do. All right, so let's get into tip number 1. As I said yesterday, tip number 1 is taking those baby steps. It's basically doing anything you can, any little thing, and keeping it unintimidating just to get yourself going, just to build a little bit of that momentum. Now, an important point on this, all right, my buddy Dax, he's a great artist. He owns a tattooist shop in Utah, in Ogden, I believe. Shout out Savage, Dax Savage Tattoo. He said yesterday on my video that he's been meaning to get back into art for a while and he hasn't been doing it, so he's gonna just resume his art practice by taking baby steps. You know, for me, I've been meaning to do videos for a long time. I've been doing videos for 8 years, this style. Only released them for about half that, but I've been doing it for a long time. It doesn't mean, when I say baby steps, that you have to be doing it as a beginner. You can be doing something for many years or your whole life and still lose momentum, and you just need to take baby steps to get back into it. And if you're starting something new, it's the same tip. All right, that's tip number 1. It's very easy. Just take a little baby step, keep it unintimidating, and just get it done. That first baby step. Tip number 2. Right, I feel like this tip has been said like a million times throughout all the self-development videos I've ever seen, ever. But it hit me again hard today. And it's basically this. Half the battle is just showing up. Whether you want to get fit in the gym, whether you want to film, if you want to get creative, or whether you want to socialize just to get social. Just show up. Just get out of the house and make your intention simply to show up at the place where your desired activity could take place. If you want to get fit, just go to the gym. Just make your intention to get out of the house and get to the gym. If once you get there you don't feel like working out, you just want to turn around and go straight back home, that's totally fine. Well, it's not a great long-term solution if you want to get fit, but it's better than not showing up to the gym at all. So just make your intention to get there. By the time you get there, chances are you're gonna want to do something. And if you do it every day and you just turn around and go home straight away for the first 6 days, maybe on the 7th day you'll be like, why am I spending all this time going to the gym every day if I don't work out? Fine, I'll do it. If you know you're in a situation like me, where I'm like, man, I don't want to film, I don't feel like filming, but I know I need to do it. All I gotta do is just charge my camera, empty my SD card, lock up the tripod, get on the motor scooter, and get going. and just show up at a location where I could feasibly film, right? Because showing up is literally just half the battle. It's just about getting out there most of the time, right? Just getting to that place. That's what stops us most of the time. It's very rare that we go and then we don't do it. It's more often that we just don't show up. So tip number 2 is just show up. By the way, check out where I'm recording right now. Like, well, you've seen the view, but look at this. Oh my God. But I mean, you can't fault that. Come on. Come on. All right, so tip number 3. Now remember, when we're talking about this topic, it's about something that you actually want to do on some level. I don't really have any tips to motivate you to do anything that you don't want to do, that you think you need to do. Like, if you know, like, don't want to pay your taxes, but you know you need to. I don't have any tips for motivating you to do that. You should probably just do it. Or if you're in school and your parents are making you go to school, especially if you're still in high school or something, I don't really have tips for that, all right? Maybe I could think about it, but I don't have any tips for that today. But what we're talking about here are things that you actually, on some level, want to do and know you should, because they fit within your values. So keep that in mind for tip number 3, okay? When you're feeling unmotivated to do something that you know you should because on some level you want to and know you need to, look to find inspiration from others who are succeeding in that area. Specifically in that area. You know, I fall off things all the time. Like I said yesterday, I fall off the gym habit. I fall off seeing my friends, become like a little loner hermit. I fall off filming. I fall off being productive in my business. If at any time you fall off any one of those things, look for an inspiration in that area. It could be someone who's inspired you originally to get into that field. Like if you are starting a business and you're a young kid like me, maybe there was someone out there on YouTube or something who was originally one of your motivators who got you into it. Maybe look to someone like that. You know, I like Gary Vaynerchuk, for example, for video stuff, for about business, right? Yesterday I was like, man, I need to get myself back into the gym. I've skipped a couple of days, so I started watching Brandon Carter on YouTube. Today I was like, I need to film again, so I started watching Casey Neistat and his friend Peter McKinnon, who's a really good YouTuber as well. So you use those people who inspire you, and you might not even feel like it, but if you look to some of those sources, you might find someone who kind of sparks that fire of inspiration, which is what made you interested in getting into film or business or the gym or something else in the first place. And that can really help in those moments when you know you need to do it today, or you should, and you just want to build momentum and get started again. I recommend doing that one. Hopefully Boss Life Blog can be a resource for you like that consistently into the future. Right, tip number 4. When you're feeling down or at a standstill, use whatever motivation you have access to, even if it's petty or negative or even downright unhealthy as a long-term source of motivation, if it's enough to get you into some momentum right now. The chances are you have noble or at least positive intentions behind wanting to make good money, maybe so you could take care of your family or help those less fortunate than you. Chances are you have good intentions behind wanting to get in a strong physical shape so that you can be healthier and be there for the people around you and be a source of strength physically, mentally, and emotionally. Chances are you have positive intentions behind wanting to develop strong social skills so that you can have positive relationships with other people. But sometimes those noble intentions aren't enough to motivate us here in this moment. And if you're sitting here watching this right now and your positive intentions behind developing yourself aren't motivating you to do the thing that you know you need to do today, you are broke, you're stressed about your job, you hate your business, or something else, consider using another source of motivation, like stunting on that kid you never liked in the 3rd grade who kicked your ass in dodgeball. Haven't forgot about you, you fucking punk. And if you're like me and you want to document your experiences, the journey of your self-development, and share it so that you might be able to help other people along that journey, but for whatever reason today that's not enough to make you do it, think about all those people who told you you're never gonna be able to pull it off. I don't believe in you, that you can start a business, you didn't even go to college, or how are you gonna figure it out? Yeah, right, you're gonna travel, good luck with that. Think about how good it might feel to put it out there and how satisfying it would be. Maybe if they didn't even see it, just for you, just to acknowledge it to yourself. Like, well, look where I am, still 5 years later. What's up now, sucker? Anyway, if your long-term noble intentions aren't enough to motivate you right now, use your pettiness as a short-term solution to motivate yourself, just to gain a little bit of momentum. Now, definitely check in with yourself later down the line and throughout your journey, because I do not think this is a positive source of long-term motivation. Actually, I think it's a really negative source of long-term motivation, like a terrible one. I know people who use their petty feelings as their sort of general source of motivation, and it's not good. They're messed up. Like, at the end of the day, you do this, tip number 4, using this petty motivation, that's a really short-term thing, and you only want to do it when you have no other option, and only to move yourself into a better state of mind and into a period of momentum, so that you can then start to access the positive intentions that you had behind wanting to do these things in the first place, okay? This is like an emergency switch that you can hit just to get yourself going again. And I can tell you right now, I've done it the past couple of days and it's working for me, okay? And it works in the gym, it works in the business, it works with art, it works with your social life. You can do it with anything, all right? Do you see how sweaty I am? Look at that. Can you see this? I'm sweaty and it's late. I mean, the sun's going down. Right, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this little video, the 4 tips. And I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, so I'm gonna get out of here now. All right.
Life is too short, trying to hold it all together. It's gone before you know it, but tonight could last forever. I wrote it out on paper, but forgot to mail the letter. And you could walk away, but you won't find nothing better. It's whatever, I just hope that you remember. Then I said some shit that upset her.